Today, we're diving into something that literally redefines how we look at success, the 1% mindset. When we really examine that gap between where you currently are and where you desperately want to be, it all boils down to mindset. It's the way you see the world, how you tackle challenges, and how you think when things get incredibly tough. That is what separates the 1% from everybody else. It's not about the zeros in their bank accounts, and it's definitely not about having wealthy connections. It is strictly about the choices being made every single day.
Think about the ultimate equalizer we all share: time, right? We all get the exact same 24 hours in a day, just like Bill Gates, just like Elon Musk, just like whatever mentor or leader you personally look up to. So, the real challenge, the one you got to ask yourself right now, is what are you doing with your 24 hours? Okay, let's jump into section 1, the myth of success, and separate some fact from fiction. You know, we constantly make this mistake of equating success with some innate talent or just hitting the jackpot with luck. We kind of look at high achievers and think, oh, they were just born with a gift that I don't have. But honestly, the empowering truth here is that achievement is rarely about being the smartest person in the room. It's really all about consistency and discipline. That 1% mindset is about showing up. It's doing the grueling work when absolutely nobody is watching, nobody is clapping for you, and let's be real, when nobody even believes in what you're doing.
And because they rely on that discipline, instead of just crossing their fingers and hoping for luck, they fiercely protect their schedules. They make ruthless, practical choices about their time. They don't waste it. They don't let distractions pull them away from their targets. You definitely won't find them spending hours doom scrolling on social media, and they absolutely skip the pointless gossip. They know exactly what they want, and they just put in the work every single day.
This totally reframes our expectations. We all love that whole overnight success story, right? That massive, dramatic leap forward. But greatness isn't some single monumental event. It's just a process. It's about those tiny, consistent actions that compound over time. It's the habits, the routines, the little things that eventually snowball into something extraordinary. The 1% get that greatness isn't what you do once in a blue moon. It's what you do every single day. Moving on to section 2, the bamboo tree effect, or the power of unseen growth.
Picture this. You plant a bamboo tree. For the first few years, you're out there watering it, nurturing it, day in and day out. Year 1, year 2, year 3, even into year 4, you are just grinding away. And what do you actually see for all that effort? Absolutely nothing. Zero visible growth. Literally no sign that anything is happening at all. But you keep going anyway. You keep watering it. And then, suddenly, in year 5,
Bam! It shoots up 90 feet in just a few weeks. 90 feet! It's this explosive, massive scale of growth that looks like an absolute overnight miracle to anyone who wasn't paying attention during those first 4 agonizing years.
So what's the big takeaway here? During all those years of quote-unquote nothing, that bamboo was actually growing its roots. It was building this massive, invisible foundation underground just to be able to support that crazy eventual growth. And that is exactly how the 1% mindset works. You put in the work daily, even when the results are nowhere to be found, because you know you're building your root system. You know deep down that you are going to break through eventually.
Which brings us to section 3, embracing the struggle and finding growth outside of comfort.
Look, it is so easy to hustle when life is smooth sailing, but what happens when you hit a wall? The reality is the 99% want the success, but they really don't want the sacrifice. They want the shiny reward without the gritty struggle. The 1%, though, they actively embrace that struggle. They understand that growth happens 100% outside of your comfort zone. If you want something you've never had, well, you got to be willing to do something you've never done. They look at today's obstacles and see a training ground for the exact strength they're going to need tomorrow.
Because they lean into that struggle, they have a totally different definition of failure. Actually, the 1% fail way more than anyone else. Why? Because they're just willing to try more things than anyone else. To them, failure isn't some dead-end street. It's a lesson. It's an opportunity to grow. It's a mandatory stepping stone on the path to success. They take it on the chin, they learn from it, and they use it to get drastically better.
And to navigate all those failures without burning out, they double down on what they can actually control. They pour relentless energy into 3 core investments: education, health, and mindset. They know for a fact that pouring time and resources into these 3 specific buckets yields a return most people only ever dream about. It's what turns them into the absolute best version of themselves, whether that's being the best parent, the best partner, or the best leader. Let's look at section 4, the perfect timing illusion. It's time to stop waiting for life to happen.
So many people spend their entire lives just waiting for the stars to perfectly align, waiting for the right opportunity to just fall into their lap, or waiting for someone to finally give them permission to start. But here is a hard and honestly exhilarating truth. There is no perfect moment. There is no right time. There is only right now.
Because the 1% truly grasp that there is only now, they operate on this relentless, proactive action cycle. They don't sit around waiting for life to happen to them, they aggressively make it happen. Step 1, they go out and create their own opportunities. From there, they take calculated risks. They willingly make the hard sacrifices today so they can reap the rewards tomorrow. And no matter what setbacks try to knock them off course, they just keep moving forward. They never stop striving.
And that leads us to our final part, Section 5, your ultimate choice, taking extreme ownership of your life.
All right, here is the absolute bottom line. No one is coming to save you. Really let that sink in. No one is going to do the heavy lifting for you. The 1% mindset is built entirely on owning this exact fact. You are 100% responsible for your own success, and you are 100% responsible for your own happiness. But you know what? The beautiful part of that realization is knowing that you already possess everything you need right inside you, right now, to make it happen.
When you finally take that kind of extreme ownership, you develop this unstoppable momentum. You get crystal clear goals about what you're working toward. You completely refuse to let fear or self-doubt hold you back anymore. You commit to doing whatever it takes. And ultimately, you start living a life that's actually true to your values, a life that inspires the people around you, and a life that leaves a real, lasting legacy.
So as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with one thought, one lingering question to ask yourself. Are you willing to go after it? Are you going to just be part of the 99% who let their excuses dictate their lives? Or are you going to step up, start building those roots, and join the 1%? Look, the journey isn't going to be easy, but it will absolutely be worth it. Decide today that you're worthy of that success, take action, and never, ever give up. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you next time.